Tornadoes are some of the most extreme weather events that our planet has to offer. They can strike without warning with brute force. However, despite how extreme and dangerous they are, some people still fail to grasp the concept of how dangerous and powerful tornadoes can be. So in this video, I will do my best to explain the best of my ability how tornadoes work and what they are. So for starters, a tornado is a rapidly rotating column of air that is in contact with the base of a cumulonimbus cloud and the surface of Earth. Meteorologists use the enhanced Fujita scale to classify tornadoes, much like the Saffir-Simpson scale with hurricanes, based on their wind speeds, with an EF0 on the low end and an EF5 on the high end. Tornadoes of EF3 status are extremely rare, but they do occasionally happen, and tornadoes that do actually touch the ground don't usually last longer than 10 minutes. But some do, and when they do, the outcome isn't very good. So tornado formation is a complicated topic, so I'll try and do my best on how and explain how it works. So tornadoes form when warm, moist air meets with cold, dry air. The mixture of the two causes the creation of thunderstorms, and obviously, as we all know from thermodynamics, heat rises above cold. So as the two are constantly moving up through a cumulonimbus cloud trying to replace each other, it leads to the formation of an updraft, and it also causes an area of low pressure underneath the cloud on the surface, which draws the base of the cloud downwards towards the ground. Once this cloud touches the ground, it is officially dubbed a tornado. Again, as previously mentioned, tornadoes usually don't last more than a few minutes after touching the ground, as when they do, cooler air from the surrounding atmosphere actually chokes the tornado of its warm air supply, keeping it on the ground, usually leading to its dissipation a few minutes after touching down. Tornadoes have been documented to occur on every continent on the planet, except of course for poor old Antarctica down at the bottom of the globe, and they've even been seen happening on Mars. A common hotspot for tornado formation is in the central and Midwest United States. This region here is often referred to as Tornado Alley because warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico comes up through the north and meets colder air from the Rocky Mountains. Another lesser-known tornado hotspot is on the other side of the planet here in Bangladesh, where cold air from the Himalayas actually meets with warmer air from the Indian Ocean. There have actually been some really extreme historic cyclones that have occurred here, but, not a lot of people know about them because they're in Bangladesh. Another, even lesser-known hotspot for tornadoes is in South America here at the base of the Andes Mountains, where cold air from the Andes meets warm air from the Pacific Ocean. So as I said before, tornadoes don't last very long at all after they touch down on the ground, but there are a tiny handful that do last longer than only a few minutes, and these are usually the ones that you hear about in the news. A tornado that exceeds the lifespan of 10 minutes is highly unlikely, but they do still happen. One such example of a type of tornado is a wedge tornado, which is when a tornado grows as wide as it is tall. One such recent example of a wedge tornado is the El Reno tornado, which happened in the city of El Reno, Oklahoma on May 31st, 2013. The El Reno tornado was both the largest tornado ever recorded on our planet, reaching an incredible width of 2.6 miles wide, and clocked in the highest wind speed ever measured on Earth, 301 miles per hour. Although less severe, the Tri-State tornado in 1925 was the longest-lasting tornado ever measured at 3.5 hours. And it also is the farthest traveling at 219 miles and traveling through three states, Missouri, Indiana, and Illinois. This next tornado I'm going to mention isn't really that well known, but I'm only talking about it because it hit the town where I currently live in North Carolina on April 16, 2011 as an EF3 on the enhanced Fujita scale. So let's get to the question of how worried do you need to be about tornadoes? Well, turns out not very. Yes, tornadoes are dangerous and can throw trucks and people and houses around like they're toys, but we can still take measures to prevent them from causing us harm. For instance, going in an underground shelter or into a room with 4 interior walls is probably the best way to protect yourself against an incoming tornado. Just keep in mind that even with all our advancements in science and radar technology, we can only predict a tornado about 14 minutes before it actually touches the ground. So keeping an eye on your forecast when bad weather's due is another really good way to protect yourself against a tornado. But in any case, tornadoes are scary, and they're probably something that humans need to be wary of until we figure out a way to better overcome them. So, thank you guys for watching this video. That's my presentation on tornadoes. If you guys want more science content, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and leave a like on this video and tell me if you enjoy my science content, because I enjoy making it. But for now, that's all from me. Stay curious.